Hello everyone, I'm Linda Marie Colon, your host for Making It Artisan Stories. And I have a special guest today, Rocco from Blue Hills Crafters of Wallingford, Connecticut. And we've got a great show for you today. So tell us a little bit about what this is and how you got started on Blue Hills Crafters, what it is, what's behind it, and what types of products are you making with your artistry?
Well, thanks, Linda. I started actually doing this in production-wise only about 5 months ago.
Oh, so you're brand new.
Brand new,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I have been working with wood for a long time, just because I love working with wood, from making old farm tables for friends and making the sofa tables. They would say, hey, Rick, I need you to make this. And so I would I'd find some old oak or find some old pallets or something like that. And I would make something and they would love it and they think it's beautiful. But it was just for friends and, just to make something nice to give to, especially my wife. She's got 3 friends that love stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I would make stuff for them, and they would, oh, this is so beautiful.
Sustainable. So you're repurposing
That's right.
wood, and you're
never
finding
use new stuff.
special
It's all,
uses.
Yeah, it's never new stuff. It's always something that I find on the side of the road or something like that. But then we owned a wine barrel from Govea Vineyard. My wife said for the Christmas she wanted to make 3 gifts for her 3 girlfriends, and she wanted one for herself, so 4 altogether.
Okay.
And I said, well, what if we make cheese boards out of that old wine barrel in the backyard?
Because the charcuterie boards, they're huge
Correct.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
A great idea.
And we love to party. My friend, we have a dinner club that we meet. We were supposed to meet once a month, and it turned out to be 3 times a week.
Okay.
So we love to drink wine. We love to enjoy each other and love to eat food. And so I said, let's make some cheese boards. So that was Christmas, and when we made the 4 cheese boards, and they were not even this quality. They were not as good because they were my very first 4. They were like going nuts over them. They loved them. Then they had a Christmas party, and all their friends saw them, and their family saw them, and said, "Oh my gosh, we should open up a business." They were making. I was just thinking it was funny that they were saying that. So I took a picture of one cheese board that I had from my wife's cheese board, and I put it on Facebook just for fun, and said, if you'd like to have one of these, I'll make it for you. That first week I got 22 orders for cheese boards. I didn't have one.
Wow,
In fact,
Facebook.
I didn't even have a wine barrel for 22. I had to scramble to find some wine barrels to make these things. And then the second week, I got 22 more orders.
Wow.
And I'm up working till midnight because I have a day job. And then the third week, I had 19 more orders. And I said, wow, there might be something here.
Right. So this was originally just make a few gifts using a repurposed wine barrel. What goes into making like a charcuterie board like this, or what did you do to make that happen? And it clearly took off.
I deconstruct the entire barrel.
Okay.
I take all the bands off, and when you take the bands off, there's no glue. It's just held together by the bands.
Right.
So you take the bands off. What I do is I number every single stave. These are called staves. It's called a stave.
Okay.
So I number every stave. So when it falls apart, I know 1, 2, 3. They all fit together really nicely.
Okay.
So once I do that, I actually put them together, and I kind of group them together, put them aside, and then I sand them all down, the backs, the tops, sand them down nicely, not the sides because the sides belong, to each other.
And you kind of want that rustic
look
on the side.
The top, this is not stained. This is the wine color of the barrel.
Okay, so this is what the wine has done to the wood.
Correct, yeah.
And it's just absorbed it.
And what I do is I put what's called biscuit joining. I biscuit join every single stave together, and I clamp them together, glue in between them.
Okay.
And we'll leave them overnight. And then on the back, I actually started cutting the steel bands and putting the steel bands back on the barrel. And then I made all the legs on the bottom with oak as well. And then what I do is I put a food quality butcher block oil on the top, so it's food safe.
Oh, okay. That's where the food safe
is. The bottom is a shellac stain. I've just brought 2 pieces here. I mean, this one here, this one is just glued. That's all it is, just glue. It doesn't have the biscuits in it. Try to pull it apart.
Oh, it's sturdy.
It's sturdy.
Very sturdy.
Very sturdy. Now this one actually has the biscuits in it. So imagine how much more sturdier this one is. That's just glue in between three pieces, and it's like rock hard. It's really amazing how it's working.
So it's made very well,
Very well.
You've taken from the charcuterie boards, you've expanded, and now what other things have you made? Because you've brought some amazing pieces here that look like more barrels, more sturdy pieces of furniture.
This is the wine barrel table. I can get 2 tables out of 1 barrel. Actually cut the centers out to get the center cut. That's why I call this a center cut.
Okay.
Because I'll cut the centers out first. I will mark 4 legs that I want to save, and then I have a table and I sand it all down, and I of course you have to prepare it for a table. You can stand on those things and they're like rock hard.
Very sturdy.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Is that good for indoor, outdoor usage?
Oh, it's good for both. As you see, it's got a deep table, right?
Yes.
So if it rains on it, you're going to have to empty it because
Okay,
it will
so you have to
hold.
tip it,
It's going to
but-
hold the water.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's watertight. I had the barrels out there for years, and
Didn't
I
matter.
brought them in and I made a charcuterie board out of it.
Wow.
So, and then I have the candle holder.
Yeah, those are like festive candle holders.
Yeah, this one is a 3 candle holder. That's a wine. I'm starting to work with bourbon barrels now.
Okay.
From Kentucky. This is a bourbon barrel candle holder. I'm a real estate agent, and as a real estate agent, we're always looking for a gift that's not too expensive to give to people that just bought their house or whatever.
Right. What a great.
It's a great idea. I started giving these away for gifts for myself, and now other agents are actually doing the same thing.
Oh, that's great.
So it's
So
really
that's caught on.
Yeah, so it's cool. And then I have different size charcuterie boards. I have this one, which is called the center cut. Then I have the full stave, which is 37 inches long. It's the entire barrel. It's for like bigger parties. You know, this is good for a nice small party of 8, something like that. And then I have a little one. It's just a half.
Yeah, like
of
a
it.
smaller, intimate
Yeah.
board that you can have. And what is this? Yeah.
This is just for today. This is actually a Lazy Susan.
Oh, isn't that incredible?
Yeah, it's a Lazy Susan. It's the top of the barrel.
Right.
And it's actually the top band of the barrel that I had to cut down to make it a little smaller so it fits around here.
Okay.
And then on the back is the actual Lazy Susan part of it.
How long does something like that take?
That one took me a couple hours. You know, these things I'm batching them now, so I'll make like 14 of them at a time. It'll take me 2 days to make 14 of them. It's a lot of tedious work. That's the same thing over and over and over for 14 of them. So I'll take 3 barrels apart. I'll sand all 3 of the barrels. And then I'll cut all the steel, and then I'll make all the legs, and you know, so it's all, you know, tedious. But when I'm doing like little piecework like this here, the first one, it was just so fun to make. And the tables, I'll make 2 of them. If I dismantle 3 barrels, then I got 3 of these, I'll make 6 of them. And then right over there, that one is commissioned. That one.
So you do commission work.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So you made them for fun originally as a gift. Then things kind of took off, and you will take commission orders.
One of my fans actually on Facebook said, I like your coat racks, but I want my own hooks. And I said,
okay.
You just give me the hooks and I'll put your hooks on. So she actually bought those on Etsy.
Oh, okay.
And she sent them to me.
Railroad ties, those big nails you see there.
Yep.
And the rest is all you, huh?
Yep, that's exactly right. I'm commissioned to make some outdoor farm tables.
Okay.
I have
is that the farm tables with the matching benches?
Yes. I'm going to actually have to buy some cedar to
Okay.
make them because I want to have them out for outdoor use. I'm going to really distress the cedar to make it nice and old looking.
What does that entail?
It entails taking some chain and smashing these pieces of wood so it really has some...
It's literally
It
distressed.
has some pieces taken out of
Yep,
it, yeah.
some chunks taken out.
And I do a lot of different things to just beat it up a little bit. And then when you stain it, what happens is I stain it and then I wipe it off. And when you wipe it off, the nooks and crannies, the stain actually stays darker in those spots.
Right.
So it looks pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
And then I have a 10-foot indoor table that I'm commissioned to make. I'm making that out of 200-year-old oak.
Where did you acquire that?
As a real estate agent, I sell a lot of farmhouses.
Okay.
And when they take apart like their front porch, there is wood underneath that front porch, or wood
Sure.
up in the rafters. I just got a whole bunch of pine from a house that's 110 years old, and he went up in his attic and he was going to put insulation in, and he said, well, I don't want to put insulation on top of that old wood, so he took all the wood out and left it in the garage for me. I just picked it up a couple days ago. I cannot wait to get my hands on that.
And you're saving it from the landfill.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's a great feeling to to use it again. And the thing is, people love that. That people love seeing something that's 110, 200 years old. You can't go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy that stuff, you know? So, yeah, so it's fun.
And this is all just from carpentry skills that you self-acquired?
My father is a developer. He's built houses all his life. And at 14 years old, I was driving bulldozers and dump trucks and stuff like that. He would give me a chainsaw at 14. I'd have a chainsaw, a chipper, a bulldozer, and a dump truck. And he would point to a lot and say, Rick, that's your summer job.
Wow.
And I'd go out there with a chainsaw and cut all the trees down, chip them all up, and put them in the dump truck. I didn't have a license, obviously, but then one of his workers would drive the dump truck over to my house, dump the wood, and that wood was mine to sell in high school.
Really?
So I sold firewood in high school. I was always working hard. I mean, I love working hard, and my father taught me a lot about wood, but nothing like this. And in fact, he looks at my stuff now and he says, Rick, I don't know where you got all this. Not from me. I don't know. I don't understand it. But, he's got a wood shop too. And he, I think maybe it kind of rubbed off. But it's trial and error. It's all trial and error. So like this thing here. I mean, that's trial and error. I thought, everybody, I have all these tops. What am I going to do with them? I don't know what to do with them. And I said, well, what about a Lazy Susan? And
what a great idea.
That's how that came out.
So let's see this Lazy Susan. It's really functional, huh?
It's very functional.
So very little scraps from your project.
All the way down to, I am trying my hardest. See, these would be scraps, right?
Yes.
What I'm doing now, if it didn't touch the glue, I'm actually going to start cutting them up to sell for smokers. Because, people like the wood for smokers, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, and they use, someone told me that if you use an oak with the wine, it might smoke right into the meat.
It could be absorbed.
Yeah.
Yep. And if it's untreated,
it's going to be untreated, totally
completely
100% untreated. Yeah. So I have a lot of those pieces, like the ends and different things like that. I'm like, gosh, I got like buckets and buckets of these ends.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't throw anything out. So
that's great.
I'm going to just chop it up into smaller pieces, put it in a little burlap bag, and say Blue Hills fire chips or something.
Sure. So entrepreneurial spirit.
I wake up and say, oh, I wonder if I could do this. And I'll tell you, I never get that feeling with any other business or profession I've ever been into where I think of what else can I make.
So rewarding.
It is, yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, thanks, Rick. Thanks for joining us, and thank you for watching. I'm Linda Marie Colon, your host for Making It Artisan Stories, and this is Rick Rocco.